Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be part 2 of my annual hike and stay at the LeConte Lodge in Mount LeConte. What we're going to be doing is just a little quick tour of the cabin I stayed in. It is a different cabin than I stayed in the past 2 years, so I wanted to do a video for this one, so I'll have it documented, and wanted to also share it with others so they can have as much information about the cabins and the stay here as possible. So we're gonna walk around the perimeter of the cabin, show you around the area where it's at, and then we'll head inside and give you a little tour. So for those that did not watch the hike video, which is a separate video than this one for this year, I mentioned in that video, and I'll mention now, that I got this stay on a cancellation. Someone had a reservation and canceled it, and they posted it on Twitter, and I just happened to have my phone nearby and saw the tweet and called them very quickly and got it, and was able to just have enough time while I was speaking with the lady on the phone to double check the weather, and saw it was going to have perfect weather. So I'm very lucky to be able to get it in general and get it on a Saturday, so I did not have to take any time off work, and weather's as good as it is too. So this is the cabin, and it's cabin number 9, which is the last one on the row. It's actually the last one. It's actually the last one closest to the woods here, and where you can go back up here and hit a trail. I have stayed in cabin 8, which is the one in front of it, and I've stayed in the one that's all the way down there at the very end, where the main walkway that takes you down to the dining hall is. I stayed in that one actually last year, and that one, the difference between that one and this one is that one up there had a double bunk bed and a twin, where this one just has a double bunk bed. For the purpose of this, it's just me and one other person staying, so the double bunk bed is just fine, and you actually have a little more floor space without the bed in there, without the twin bed in there, so it works out really good. But it's like the other cabins, it's got kind of a table space here that's built into the porch, and you have 2 rocking chairs, and then you have a window there that does open from the inside, and then you also have a window on the other side that opens as well. And like I said before, you have access to a trail that goes that way, and it is the last one. So we're gonna head inside now and look around. All right, the lighting here may not be the best, but we're gonna do the best we can. So you have a double bunk bed. They do provide linens for both top and bottom, whether you're gonna be utilizing both or not. And you have a nice picture up there, smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector. And then there's a window, it does have curtains you can close at night. And the same for this one over here. And you have a little table you can set items on, and you have a chair that you can sit down in, and then you have a clothes hanger if your clothes are wet, or you just want to hang them up there and just kind of have them off the bed or out of the way. You can do that. And then you do have the propane heater. The propane lines, I believe, are buried underground, and they go to the tanks that are on down that way, somewhere down there. Not exactly sure where. I have seen those before in the past, but I think the piping for that's buried underground and goes to those. And then you have a coat rack here. You can hang your clothes on, your coat. It's good enough to support your bag if it's not too heavy. And then you have a block here that has the key to the bathroom on it, which gives you access to the bathrooms that are guest only. So you won't have to use the public ones, which are, I don't want to just call them nasty, but in comparison to the guest only ones, they're nasty, just plain and simple. But so that's definitely a perk of staying. And then over here you have a mirror, as you can see, and then you've got a box of matches to light your lamp. That is your light source and your only light source, unless you have a flashlight or a small lantern or something you brought yourself. Other than that, in daylight, of course, but at night, that's your only light source. And then they have a map here that tells you the layout of where the cabins are, and a dining room and the office and those sort of things. And then we have a book here that's got some general information, and it has another map, and it also has a listing for the sunset and sunrise times. You'll want to do both of those things if the weather's good for it, because the sunset is pretty hard to beat from the cliff tops, which is 0.2 miles from the lodge. 0.2 mile little short hike up there. And then Myrtle Point is where the sunrise is. Cliff top is the sunset. Myrtle Point is the sunrise. Myrtle Point's a little further hike to it, but it's still worth checking out. And they provide some cups for you that you can go to the dining room during certain hours. I think you can get lemonade, coffee, maybe hot chocolate, and then I think maybe just some water. I'm not sure if they have tea or not, but I think you can get some water in there as well. Then they have a pump that you can fill your water bottles and your bladders if you have those also. And then you have a wash pan here that you can use to, if you got your own, like a washcloth or a hand towel, you can use that to put your water in. They give you a bucket to go get hot water with. There's a hot water spigot. In the past when I've stayed here, it's only been kind of warm, but it's better than just freezing cold, I guess. But you can pour that in your wash pan and kind of wipe down and clean yourself up with that. And they have a jar here. I don't remember seeing this last time, but maybe I just missed it. But they have tips for crew jar, so any tips you leave them will be greatly appreciated. And I'm just saying that because they take pretty good care of you here. Everything's real clean and in pretty good shape, so I would recommend leaving them a tip if you're able to do so. I don't know anyone that works here. I just my opinion, putting that out there. And they give you a sticker, kind of a little souvenir, and you got a little bar of hand soap. And that's pretty much it. Not exactly sure what the dimensions of this is, but if it's just 2 people, maybe 3, you know, you'll do just fine here as far as having room and not feeling kind of stuffy with just the amount of people that's in here. But if you add more than 3, I would think that might kind of become a challenge. But you know, depending on how much time you stay in here, if you're only in here to just sleep and maybe sit around a little bit, then you know, maybe you can make do with it. It won't be too bad. But that's pretty much it. This is a nice little cabin, just like the other ones. Staying one night, we'll be hiking back in the morning. And I believe that's gonna wrap this video up. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up. And please consider subscribing if you haven't. As always, thanks for watching. And we'll see you in the next video.